would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
A USB drive and Kim Porter's burner phone. Now, there is also an alleged email out saying a plethora of other things that include TD Jakes.
Just man like himself be at a party, which ain't nothing but sin that's going on, bro. Whether it's drinking, maybe fornicating, maybe.
That multiple male escorts corroborated the fact that TD Jakes have slept with multiple men at Diddy's parties and abroad.
If everything was true, all I gotta do is repent sincerely from my heart.
Shannon Sharpe has lately stirred up much controversy with his daring interviews, including high-profile individuals like Miss O and Medea. Sharpe's interviews are noted for their deep digs and daring accusations, which have garnered both acclaim and condemnation. The newest focus of his inquiry is TD Jakes, a prominent clergyman and motivational speaker. The fight between Sharpe and Jakes has grown, gaining substantial attention. Shannon Sharpe has made some big accusations regarding TD Jakes in his recent interviews. These claims, presented with a high level of scrutiny, have upset Jakes, who feels that Sharpe's method is intrusive and destructive to his image and career. The Reverend TD Jakes has openly voiced his dissatisfaction with Sharpe, condemning his techniques and the possible damage they have caused. Jakes thinks that Sharpe's obsessive pursuit of controversy undermines his years of hard work and effort. TD Jakes' association with Sean Diddy Combs has come under examination after a high-profile lawsuit. Diddy is mired in a legal dispute with former producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, who has launched a $30 million lawsuit. The lawsuit contains significant claims, including criminal activities and wrongdoing.
I mean, if Bishop Jakes was at a Diddy party, there could only be two reasons.
Hey, Bishop Jakes, how are you?
What's up, man?
Man, it's so good to see you.
It's better to see you. How you doing?
TD Jakes was hanging out at a rapper and f***ing party.
What?
That Puff Daddy held. He's sitting right there. Old TD Snakes.
Amen.
They there f***ing and everything. TD Snakes right there.
Jakes has been working to distance himself from Diddy to protect his public image. This endeavor depicts the difficulty of keeping a reputation while negotiating interactions with controversial personalities. A video leaked showing TD Jakes visiting Diddy's opulent birthday celebration in 2022, which raised curiosity about their connection. Jakes' appearance at such a high-profile event amid Diddy's legal issues aroused doubts about the nature of their friendship. Jakes and Diddy had a working connection, including a potential series on Revolt TV. However, Diddy's recent selling of his investment in Revolt TV has added complexity to their link, sparking fresh suspicion about their relationship and its consequences.
Reason people come to me and I don't look at them with judgy eyes. I have no predetermined notion or preconceived notion, and they open up to me. That's what they're upset about. Because if you look at a lot of these people that's been on other podcasts, I didn't know it was gonna cause this kind of ripple. I didn't think it was gonna move me in the direction. I'm glad it did. I understand what comes along with that. But if you remember, I said, is there anything that you don't want to talk about? I always ask the guests that. Sometimes they say, well, I would appreciate if we not talk about this. Right. Cool, no problem. Because I believe you can tell your story without saying something negative. But yes, I believe a person that's been in a business, that's been doing something 10, 15, 20, 30 years are more than one salacious story. Right. That's what I believe. So if they say they want to stay away from it, but if they want to tell something, who am I to say, nah, don't do, you can't tell that. Right.
Because Cookie from the show Empire, I was offered that role. Now Taraji tore it up, baby, listen here. However, I was offered that. Then Felita called me back and say, baby girl, they said you're too difficult to work with. But you hear on the audio that a man told David Talbert I was difficult to work with. Do you see how that cost my family?
Yes.
And with no accountability.
comedian Katt Williams came on Sharpe's program and blasted Jakes, describing him as a guy who had built a deceptive public image. This critique reinforced Sharpe's examination of Jakes. Lavelle Crawford also added to the scandal by making lighthearted but critical remarks regarding Jakes' links with Diddy. His words, albeit meant as laughs, touched on deeper concerns and contributed to the conjecture surrounding Jakes. A recent sermon by Jakes, which used strange terminology and a turn towards more inclusive views on sexuality, has received criticism. This deviation from his usual viewpoints has hampered his public image. There have been persistent suspicions concerning Jakes' sexuality and the suitability of his teachings. These speculations have acquired credence, particularly in light of the problems surrounding him and his affiliation with Diddy.
See, they put you in a situation where you can't win. If you hang out with the rich folk, you're snooty. If you stoop down low and get somebody in trouble, you had no business. So I'm supposed to sit at home and do nothing.
When I grew up in the church, the sinners was not supposed to have the same atmosphere with the saints.
He then commented on TD Jakes' association with Diddy's party, saying,
looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin, fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But maybe he'd have to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he'd have to save some souls.
Faced with rising pressure and shocking disclosures, TD Jakes resigned from his position as a pastor. This resignation was a huge damage to his career and reputation. The aftermath from his departure has badly affected Jakes' career and personal integrity. The public scrutiny and outrage have placed his once respected reputation in risk. Jakes is especially unhappy with Shannon Sharpe for his involvement in revealing the problems and promoting public criticism. Jakes regards Sharpe's conduct as a betrayal, considering the sensitive nature of the claims and the continuous public scrutiny. The protracted conflict between Sharpe and Jakes continues to attract enormous public attention and discussion. The issue remains unstable, with fresh disclosures possibly damaging both parties' reputations and livelihoods. The fight between Shannon Sharpe and TD Jakes has become a high-stakes drama encompassing complicated personal and professional concerns. As the crisis progresses, the public remains split on the ramifications and obligations of each party involved.
Club Shay Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was.
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
Well, I'm saying. Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Cause P. Diddy be wanting to party. All of these, big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
So Katt Williams said it. The lawsuit started coming out right after he said it, and he said all would be exposed. He heavily implied, and this is again an allegation, that Lucien Grange was having some sort of a homosexual relationship with Diddy. So he is the person that controls Diddy, that Lucien Grange was aware of these parties, that Universal Music Group was aware of these parties. Essentially, that Diddy is the thug and the gangster working on behalf of Lucien Grange. They did not know that he was reporting them. I mean, when I read through that lawsuit, Rodney made it very clear that he had hidden cameras. And if you are a person like LeBron who says ain't no party like a Diddy party, you got Ashton Kutcher talking about what happens at Diddy parties stays at Diddy parties. And finally you learn via the press that actually Diddy has been collecting evidence on all of you and you don't know where those tapes are. That will buy your silence for quite some time because you're hoping that if you keep your head low, you're not going to be revealed as one of these people that was engaged in some of these acts, whether they were heterosexual or homosexual, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're just cheating on your wife and you don't want that to get out into the public. Maybe you were, as Katt Williams described it, in one of the rooms. He said you could just walk around the house. He said this on stage years ago, that you could walk around the house and you would see people engaged in various sex acts. And again, Katt Williams was someone who was dismissed as crazy and dismissed as a drug addict. And it turned out that, or it seems that if these allegations are proven to be true, and I believe they are, then he was telling the truth.
Do you think that like stars and get offered that kind of thing, like to compromise themselves sexually for entertainment?
I was as shocked as anybody about how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him and how he could not be told no. You follow what I'm saying?
They'll figure out some way.
Right. So I thought that didn't apply to me because I don't care about nothing but bitches and good business, right? In these scary situations, I don't even leave it up to me. Like, I'm going to do what the superhero would do in this part of the movie, regardless.
That's a good way to think about things in general.
Katt began with Tyler Perry. At first glance, it seems like just a comedian throwing shade, especially when Katt jokes that Perry can't play a man to save his life. But beneath the chuckle lurks a secret reality. When Perry was working on his first independent screenplays, it was Diddy's staff that stepped forward. They helped finance his initial films, planned premieres in LA and New York, and handed out VIP invitations to celebs anxious for a sneak look. These early boosts didn't reach the headlines, but they're in the small print. Perry would not acknowledge it, but his ascension has Diddy's fingerprints all over it.
I heard that you bought a military base in Alabama. Is that true? A military base?
As starving comedians would do.
Now, I don't know if you're being truthful or not. Did you really buy one?
Yeah, Fort McClellan. Yeah,
What?
Because the reason why like my life works in golf and off the golf course is because I follow instruction well, right? Mm-hmm. So if I see somebody do a good job, I just want to do a good job.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow the example.
Yeah.
Right? So Tyler Perry got a military base.
That's correct.
Made it into a movie studio and started making movies. Katt Williams.
Bought a military base. Are you making movies?
I'm not wearing dresses. Yeah.
No,
At what point in Tyler Perry's career was he Samuel L. Jackson or Denzel Washington? Which are the only two black men I can think of that never had a dress on.
Yeah, but I don't think it's about
at one point, it is about that. It is about that because he's the only black man that we already established has $1 billion for making movies. He's the only black man with his own studio, but he's also putting out material where he got a goddamn dress on every year.
Because
every time you turn around at every iteration of his success, be it the plays that took over and got him popular, be it the shit that he did on TBS, be it the first movies that he did, be it the movies that he does now. So what is his excuse for doing Madea content now?
Because there's an audience for it. There's an audience for it. There is an audience.
There's an audience for it.
Tyler Perry told his male actors they're not allowed to consort with me because I saw you at a Diddy party, Tyler. And you were having a glorious time. I spent a lot of time in Miami and I snuck around Star Island quite a bit. I know Christian isn't lying, but I need him to tell me what happened to my friends. And I don't care how long it's been since I talked to them. They will always be my friends. Always. Tim and Durrett and Lamont Rucker were not the same after they went on camera with Tyler Perry. Christian, I think you can tell me why.
Next, Ricky Smiley. He learned the ropes of the business at Diddy's elite Atlanta parties, invite-only evenings when Puffy's crew controlled the guest list. Ricky made his way into that list, then worked his way into radio positions and a smash TV program. Katt quipped that Smiley only shines in a dress, but it's more than just a jest. It hints at how Ricky's ascension occurred via Diddy's connections long before he even touched the mic.
I sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday after next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was...
Sir, no one... Why no... He was with KD? He beat up Terry Crews? Why nobody know this story? And Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract. That's why I can't let Ricky Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike, because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract.
Why would you put that in your contract, Katt?
That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.
But when you reported a long time ago that Jamie, that he mysteriously got sick, mysterious, and looked at it as allegedly was Diddy. But how do you, but when you reported that back then, months ago, did you say, what was that in your reporting? Yeah, they were saying that Diddy, because Diddy and Jamie Foxx were good friends. And they broke up, they stopped being friends. And they just, and no, we're not doing no. I'm just telling you what they said.
Who's that?
They that wait.
They that wait on the Lord.
You put the mess out there.
All right, y'all, we're gonna wrap up the house.
I Googled you to see what are the questions that people are wanting to know. Is Ricky Smiley married?
No.
Have you ever been married?
I was married.
Oh,
I was married for 12 years.
When?
Man, I was married back.
Did I know you?
Back in the 90s. I think we probably had met and had been around each other, but my ex-wife, we were still close. She's a flight attendant for Delta.
Oh, okay.
And we was married. We was young, and I was married for 12 years.
Wow.
I had a beautiful. She's beautiful.
And y'all broke up after 12 years because...
Comic View, I started doing Comic View and street start hitting.
Oh, no!
Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer aren't off the hook either. Katt accuses Harvey of stealing a TV concept and believes Cedric took one of his finest jokes 20 years ago. These barbs made fantastic headlines, but the true story is how both guys have worked with Diddy. They've shook his hand at charity galas supported by Bad Boy-hosted events, earning millions for education and youth outreach. Every time they acknowledge Diddy on stage, they strengthen their links to him. Those grins at opulent charity galas show a secret network of power most people never witnessed.
Jam 25. It's good to see so many funny people together in one room, all wondering the same thing. Is Katt Williams gonna show up?
Shit, I'm nervous as hell right now.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, he's right there. There he is. I didn't know he was right there. Nigga, I would not have said that if I had seen that. Yeah. Not used to quiet, introspective Katt Williams.
No. But let me ask you this. When have you ever seen this many heavy hitters all together at the same time? Yeah. In the same room. Yeah.
That's right.
All right, Jen is with me now to talk about another story making headlines today.
Yeah, so this one is actually sparked by these pictures. That's 49-year-old P. Diddy with his hand on his girlfriend's belly. Now, that is 22-year-old Lori Harvey. They're in Cabo. She's, of course, talk show host Steve Harvey's stepdaughter. People are talking about maybe she could be pregnant. You know, he's rubbing her belly a little bit, but...
She's put up some Instagrams, I think, that show some clues. Sushi, right? Sushi, a bad thing for pregnancy.
It could go either way. But then also she posted this picture of green juice, which, you know, why would you want a flatter tummy if you really can't avoid it because you're carrying a child?
Ooh, this is conflicting evidence. Okay. Lori was once actually linked to Diddy's son, Justin.
Okay.
Okay, so they were together and then engaged a couple years ago to a Dutch soccer player. She told Carissa Thompson about how he popped the question.
We were in Malibu. I remember the time. It was 11:30. I thought it was a joke. And then he went in his pocket and I started shaking.
They split up later on that year. Lori and Sean were actually spotted with her dad, Steve, on a boat in Italy earlier on this summer.
That's all. Well, then that's it. He's given the blessing. They're together.
It even spreads inside church walls. TD Jakes spoke at a gospel event sponsored by Diddy's crew, where platinum seats, VIP ropes, and press barriers made it seem like an album launch. Behind the scenes sat music executives and influencers recruited by Bad Boy's PR department. Katt cites Jakes as one of the major people due to be revealed. That may seem unusual, but it illustrates how Diddy's advertising blended pop culture and religion under one dark, twisted canopy.
On that list. And, you know, Katt Williams, I don't know if he's a Christian or not. I don't think he is. His mouth would say maybe he's maybe has faith, but he's bearing fruits of repentance. But that podcast got well over millions and millions of views because he just blasted the industry. And basically the whole thing is your career's here. If we give you money and you join in on this debauchery, you join in on this sodomy, you join in on this pedophilia, you join in on these rituals, your career will go from here to here. And that's actually been seen if you look at a lot of different careers, including Taylor Swift's. She actually started rubbing shoulders with P. Diddy a long time ago, and then all of a sudden her career changed.
We also know that TD Jakes is allegedly also a power bottom. And he's a much older man. And they say he's very enthusiastic in his endeavors. What happens when he pops something loose? You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because they're mentioning sex workers, but they're not mentioning women. They're mentioning men as sex workers.
Yeah.
Like is that a thing where like there's a website? I mean, what? It's just wild to hear like you mentioned.
You never heard of Grindr?
I personally have not. That is what.
Why don't nobody ever talk about the fact that TD Cakes has an account allegedly on Grindr?
Then there's Ludacris. Katt connects him to the Illuminati, alleging only such a group could win him a $200 million deal. The narrative combines fiction with humor, but the true collaborations are undeniable. Hits on each other's albums, combined festival appearances, and memorial events for Biggie where they shared the stage. These gestures hint to a trust formed over decades. Katt covers everything in conspiracy, but you don't need hidden symbols to perceive their bond.
No, so we were both invited to an Illuminati thing. One of us had to cut off all their hair and couldn't do the sideburn thing no more with the points. And the next person they said was going to get $200 million because they were going to pay him $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris and the other person turned out to be Katt Williams. I didn't get it. I'm not mad about it.
How much money they give? 200?
Sir, Fast and Furious is on what number right
10.
now?
10.
Did you start to worry any about your own safety and stuff?
Well, what it was that I was attempting to do was impossible. So before I do this interview, there is no Illuminati. It's just a joke. It's just something that crazy people talk about. There's no such thing as our side and God's side. None of that is even real. I gotta come and make it real. So that's why when I said that, nobody came out and went, that's not true. I'm on God's side. If part of the ritual is wearing a dress, then we should be able to look through entertainment and see all of these
people being made to wear a dress.
Yeah, you don't see the dog catcher show up every other year.
I guess not a thing.
In a nice skirt, or you don't see an electrician.
Justin Combs was accused of orchestrating wild parties with underage females. Federal officials stormed his residence and handcuffed him. However, no charges were ever brought. These aren't simply rumors or online conspiracies. They're supported by court records, federal indictments, and sworn statements. As these lawsuits go into trial in May 2025, every name on this list illustrates exactly how far and deep Diddy Combs' enterprise reaches. Whether these celebs understood what they were getting into or wound up in the wrong place at the wrong time, one thing is certain. When Katt Williams claims he's exposing every star in Diddy's circle, he's working from the same court files that create a devastating picture of alleged misbehavior.